Talk podcast. Your boy Loso 2.0, the copy got himself. And today we're talking about, are you comparing your girl to others? So, what's the problem, Kings? Is your wife or girlfriend not satisfying you to the level that you want? What's missing? Is she, not cooking enough for you? Is she not cleaning enough for you? Is she not being physical enough for you? Like, what is the problem here? Okay. First, sit back and think about it. Make a list of all the things that you think that your wife isn't or girlfriend isn't doing for you. Okay. And then I want you to really sit here and consider that, right? Why do you believe she isn't doing it enough? Is there a set amount that should be done? Is there something else that's like holding you, that's making you, is there like a rule for this? There most likely isn't. Most likely the reason why you feel like this stuff isn't happening or something's not being enough is because you're comparing. Comparison is the thief of joy. I talked about this on the podcast that I was on. It was like Talks with Savannah. On that podcast, we were talking about the idea of like, is comparison, why do people feel like, what would my biggest lesson be for people that are like, young and trying to achieve different things and stuff like that, especially in this realm right now, social media. And I would say all the time, it's just stop comparing. You compare yourself to too much. Like, there's no reason to compare yourself to these other kids that are 24, 25 years old, because for one, maybe they've been working in a background, right? Or maybe they came from a different environment, a different background with family who support, a family who is already rich or wealthy. You can't compare yourself, right? And now I'm not saying that your like girlfriend or wife can't compromise with some things. That's what a relationship is for, right? Relationship is a place for you to give, though. It's definitely a place for you to give and not to take. When you see it as that, that's when you're going to be like, okay, I'm starting to, understand things, right? You have to look at it as a place to give. So, yeah, like I said, there's some things that could be compromised, but in order for that to be compromised, in order for you to get something, you have to be willing to give something. So you're willing to give up something else in exchange for, whatever more that you want from your significant other. All right. Is there something else that you can give? You have to sit there and brainstorm. It's something that you need to think about, honestly, because a lot of times we're just thinking about, take. What can I get? What can I get? To the point where it's just like, you know what I mean? You can't, you're not giving anything. And that's funny. That's the next point was, you got to give to ask, right? This is big, not even just, this is why I love marketing and sales so much, because sales and marketing go together with everything. It's just the ability to persuade. It goes great with relationships too. In marketing, right? You have to be willing to give them something free at first in order to get something back or give something of greater value. It's about how much value can you give to the other person. And it's just like that in relationships. How much value can you give to your significant other? What is it that you get value? Now you have to give them something that they want. You can't just give them stuff and expect them to, take it and be happy with it. You have to actually give them stuff they want. That's why you do all these research and stuff. And you have to study your woman, man. Take the time. I mean, what I do a lot of times is like I scroll through Twitter, look at some of the things she likes, try to figure her out. Of course, asking her questions, asking her family, friends, like, basically get down into details, get down into research. Now, this is one, and this is what I said, like I like comparing it to marketing, right? Stefan Georgi came up with an email today that talked about the importance of giving out free sales letters to your ideal clients, like the big clients. Just give them free sales letters. It's the idea of giving, like, you may spend times hacking away at your, hands getting tight, muscles tightening up type of thing, trying to write these sales letters for people, right? And then it's just like, just to give it away for free almost sounds absurd. It really does. But then if you really sit back and think about it, it's like, is it really that absurd? You want their time. You need their, their money. You're trying to make it. They already made it. They don't need it. They don't need you. It's a privilege. You have to give value to ask for value. That's just the simplest way to put it, right? And then to stop comparing to everything, right? So let's recap, right? Are you comparing your girlfriend to others? You may be comparing her to others because you may see other people getting this amount of, sex, this amount of, money, this amount of time spent cooking and cleaning, and you think that she deserves that. Do you deserve that as well? But you haven't given anything to ask for that thing. When it comes to marketing, when it comes to sales, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to God and studying and stuff in your beliefs and your spirituality, you have to give in order to ask. First of all, it builds that foundation that you really need in order to build a strong relationship. But just on top of that, it's just like, stop looking at your relationship as a place to take and you deserve this, that, and a third. No, it is a place to give. So you have to be willing to give first before you ask for anything in return. That's exactly what I do. And overgive first before you ask anything in return. Now you may get, people take advantage of you, but it happens. And like I said, with Stefan Jordan was talking about the importance of getting this ideal client, the newsletter. He was actually building relationships. So even if, let's say you don't use it, right? You're building a strong relationship. This is why I love doing the joint ventures, right? I'm giving out free content, free information, helping them out for free. In exchange, I'm getting something in return. It's allowing me to grow. It's allowing me to, like I said, build that foundation for my business. And building that foundation, I'm able to actually grow, and I'm also able to, build them, because, right now they might not buy from me, right? But in 3 to 6 months, that's why I got interviewed on that podcast. I literally just kept emailing her every single day, kept giving her value, and eventually she seen it and bid on it and was just like, wow, like I have to meet this guy. Like he wrote such a great email to me. I really need help with this, yada, yada, yada. And like I said, that's what helped me close my first client so far, right? Well, at least last month, close a client. Well, for this month, so this is my client, close this month, was the idea of like, I gave free content. We've been in contact for maybe like a year, maybe 6 months to a year. But, I did it right this time. I literally gave him content. Then it was like, boom, in exchange for you giving me content, he interviewed me. He, now I'm drawing out the process a lot, but I'm learning though. So, interview me. I gave him the content, interview me, stuff like that. Gave me a shout out post. He's going to refer me. And then it was like, boom, okay, how can we work together further? And then it's like, some type of down payment plus, a percentage of the sales that's being made. Just like that. You can do it too. I'm telling you, it can be you. You can do the same exact thing that I'm doing. Just give your value up for free. Give value before you ask for value. But like I said, I'm not doing this for you to compare, because like I said, comparison is the thief of joy. So don't worry about comparing yourself to me, because everybody else is different. We all move to a beat of our own drum. But it's just for you to give you an example of like what happens when you give, and you give first before you ask or before you take. And then now, to conclude this, like, subscribe, share this video, comment below though. Do you find yourself comparing sometimes? Who knows? But I just want you guys to keep killing the dance. Remember, you pray for marketing like this. Copy God out.